So, hello everyone, and welcome to another meditation in Exploring Consciousness. Today, I would like to talk to you about the four views on self. It's a short contemplation which I made up myself in a poem, um, putting together the different views and I saw were present in different spiritual traditions, mainly Tibetan Buddhism. So what I would like to do with you is to have a short meditation so we can calm down, relax, and settle into the present moment. And then I will read to you the poem in its entirety and then discuss the different views and give examples and show how different people have different kinds of views, and in the end I want to discuss with you how all views are one and the same, and how actually we need all of them to have a balanced state of mind and a healthy point of view on our life and the world. And that if we hold one of these views to be higher than others, or one to be real and the others to be unreal, then that is actually a subtle form of fundamentalism and can create confusion or unskilled behavior. So that is what I would like to do. So let's just take a few moments to check in, feel into the body. You can start by noticing the breath and softly sliding into a more present way of being. So let the breath stabilize itself. Let it find its natural rhythm. And then you slowly melt into the body. It's like sinking from the head, the thoughts, the busyness of the day, projects, the stress, the worries. Just letting that be as it is and just relaxing into the sensations in the body. Paying particular attention to the root or the trunk of the body. So you can try breathing into your feet and to the lower part of your body. Whatever comes up in your experience, it is not a problem. Thoughts, emotions, sensations, energies will continue to come and go in your experience. You just let them be as they are and relax into the body. So you become more embodied. and not just stuck up in the head. See if you can bring the whole body into your awareness, into the foreground of your experience. And just resting. So if your mind wanders, gets hooked by a storyline, then as soon as you notice that, you just unhook from that and return to the present moment, to the breath, and to the body. Relaxing and settling into the present moment. So hopefully we feel a bit more grounded and present now, a bit more relaxed. And so let me read the poem to you, and then let's discuss and see what ideas come up. So, the 4 views on self. You definitely exist. You feel pain and joy every day. Your actions have consequences. You can make others feel joy and pain. That is why you need to work hard, because what you do affects others. Try to heal yourself for the sake of others. You can become a Buddha. This is the relative view. You definitely don't exist. You can't find a separate you anywhere. You are the accumulation of experiences. You are interconnected with everything. That is why you might as well relax, because you have no control at all. What happens is the play of karma. There is no Buddha. This is the view of emptiness. You are everything. You are the essence of all beings. You are the energy of the universe. You are love without boundaries. That is why you should be happy, because everything is already perfect. Everything and everyone is divine. You are the Buddha. This is the tantric view. You are no thing. You are the space which holds everything. You are unconditional awareness. You are primordial consciousness. That is why you should be at peace. because you dream existence into being. Nothing here can ever touch you. Buddha nature is the truth of yourself. This is the ultimate view. No view is higher than another. All views reveal an aspect of reality. Each has its own place and is necessary. Holding one above the other is delusion. A Buddha lives in harmony with them all. His conduct adapts to the needs of beings. He teaches according to their capacities. This is the inseparable oneness of all views. Confirm it in your own experience and awaken. So that's the poem. And let's start with the first view, the relative view. So it says, you definitely exist. You feel pain and joy every day. Your actions have consequences. You can make others feel joy and pain. So that's pretty normal to think that, and pretty sane and actually healthy. So that's the way we usually live and think in our everyday activities. And that's our common experience, that we exist, we feel pain and joy, and we can give pain and joy to others. So really everything we do and say has a consequence. And that is why we need to work hard to be the best we can, to be as good as possible, so we don't cause harm to others. So this is the foundation of the gradual way. This is the starting point of the exploration, and that's why it's, with this view, it can be necessary to bring some effort into one's spiritual practice, just as it's important to bring effort into a physical training, or learning how to play an instrument, or to do sports, or to make art. So any skill you want to develop, you need to bring some effort into it. You need to train, and you need to practice. So that's pretty normal. So try to heal yourself for the sake of others. You can become a Buddha. This is the relative view. So this points to compassion, and that by showing compassion to yourself and to all beings, you develop the qualities necessary to be able to awaken to your fullest potential, to become a Buddha, a self-realized being. So it's possible, but it will take you a long time, because we have so many obscurations and habits, and that need to wind down and dissolve, that we need to work with before we can become a Buddha. So this view is pretty clear. I think anyone can understand this view. So let's jump to the next one. You don't exist. You definitely don't exist. You can't find a separate you anywhere. You are the accumulation of experiences. You are interconnected with everything. So this points to what is called emptiness in Buddhism. And it particularly points to that no matter where we look, we can't find a separate solid self in any of us. So if we would take a small micro camera and put it into our veins, and it would go through our whole body, scanning it and searching with a small flashlight after what we call I or me, we wouldn't find anything. So even if we take the whole body apart and put the skin in one pile, the bones in one, the blood and organs in another, the hair and nails, so what is left? So there is no self there. And this is the view of neuroscience. If we look into the mind, there is no control center, there is no primary place in the mind that sends out the commands. It's an open network of neurons firing together and communicating with each other in an open network, and that's how they create our perception of reality. So science actually confirms this view. Yeah. So that is why you might as well just relax, because you have no control at all. What happens is the play of karma. There is no Buddha. This is the relative. No, this is the view of emptiness. So, and that's where the effortlessness is introduced, that you might as well relax because you have no control at all. What happens is the play of karma. So, of course, you have some level of control. You can decide and choose and so on. You have free will. But in this view, all of that is mixed together with karma. So the causes and conditions of past actions, and all of that is the ground for the experiences you're having, the sensations in your body, the energies, the events taking place in your life. If something good happens, if something bad happens, that's all your karma. That's all because of what you did in the past, how you treated others, how what you thought, how you felt, and all these things. Yeah. So we only exist as interconnected beings that are made up of a lot of parts, but no separate solid self. So then we might as well just relax, because there's nothing to defend here. There's no one here to become successful, to become enlightened, to become anything. It's just a process happening. Yeah, so there is no Buddha. And in the sense that there is no separate solid Buddha apart from everything else. So for there to be a Buddha, an awakened being, there needs to be sentient beings who are not Buddhas, who are not awake yet. So a Buddha is interconnected with all sentient beings, and the whole planet needs to exist, and the whole ecosystem and nature needs to exist. So there's this quote, I think, from Carl Sagan, who said, if you want to make an apple pie from scratch, first you need the whole universe. And that really points to the interdependence of all phenomena. And that's a way to understand emptiness. Yeah. So I think that's clear. We can talk about that view. I think some of you will have questions about that. But let's go to the tantric view. So you are everything. You are the essence of all beings. You are the energy of the universe. You are love without boundaries. So this kind of view is common in all tantric tradition, regardless of culture and religion background. And it points to the oneness of all beings with the divine love of God. And that's your true essence. So yeah, why would they say that? So it must be based upon something. So if this is their view, then this is what they experience. So to be able to experience divine love, oneness with everything, a meditation is needed, or at least a shift in one's perception and identity, because usually, most of the time, this is not our experience, that we are one with all beings. And if we've had that experience sometime, maybe in a meditation or in a special event that changed our life, like childbirth or the death of a family member, or maybe through psychedelics, or through an intense experience, an accident. So there are many ways to have a shift in consciousness and have the experience of being one with everything. So it might be possible to always have that experience, or at least to take that experience to heart and let it shape your perceptions of reality. To see that as the truth, not the relative truth of I need to become successful and I need to have children, I need to get somewhere in life, but to instead, I'm already perfect, I'm already whole, I'm already complete, I'm not just good enough as I am, I'm perfect, I'm beautiful. Everyone is beautiful, everyone is divine. So that's seeing the all beings as Buddhas, bodhisattvas, as gods, as angels, as spirits. So there are many words we can use, but and there's this new age quote I'm thinking of. We're not human beings having a spiritual experience, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. So that's sort of this view, is to look beyond appearances and to see the divine nature in all beings. And that can be the cause for great happiness and joy. So yeah, everything and everyone is divine. You are the Buddha. This is the tantric view. So in this view, there's no need to become a Buddha, because in your deepest essence, you are already a Buddha. Everyone is. And this is just, so to say, a divine game, manifestation of divine love. So that's the tantric view. I don't think that's correct, no matter what tradition you look at, but it's a mixture of a few of the traditions. So yeah, we can talk about this, and everyone will have their own way of describing this view. but I'm interested in see if any of you have had that experience before. So let's jump to the last view. I'm sorry. So, you are no thing. You are the space which holds everything. So let's try that out, how that feels in our mind. So what comes to your mind? What kind of experience, what kind of quality comes to mind when you hear you are the space which holds everything? So the space in which everything arises and falls. Can you notice that space in your experience? So where does it begin? Where does it end? Does it have a shape, size, a color? Is there anything at all you can say about this space? So this space has many names. I think the most common ones, or my favorite ones, is unconditional awareness or primordial consciousness. So that is who you are. So that is the unconditional knowing of this moment. The timeless eyes which gaze at your experience. So let's just look into that. How does that feel? What does that bring up? So you dream the world into being. This is a view which is common in the Hindu tradition of Brahman as in God, and not God in a Christian sense, like a theistic sense, but God as in the space or the source from which everything arises. So they're actually pointing to primordial consciousness. So there are many words for that. You can call it Buddha nature, Rigpa, Dharmakaya, Christ consciousness, God, the beloved in the Sufi tradition. So many words. The nameless one, which carries 1,000 names. So that is who you are. That is what everything is, because everything exists as a manifestation of that. So they're in the same nature. So our reality is a dream. It's a dream of God. God is dreaming, and he's dreaming us and dreaming the whole universe into existence. So because of that, there is no separation between you and the source, the source of all creation. So you might as well be at peace. So nothing here can harm you. And this points to the emptiness of the clear light knowing. So nothing can harm it. Nothing can improve it. Even if the body would be destroyed, consciousness, if I say primordial consciousness, would be unaffected. So nothing physical, nor thoughts or emotions, no energies can even affect it. So can you get a sense of what that is pointing to in your experience? This is my favorite subject. It's called the ultimate view in basically every religious and spiritual tradition. And the reason for that is because it points to our deepest nature, beyond all illusions. But does that mean that only this view is correct and all views are deluded and confused? So that is the view of many practitioners and teachers who teach the ultimate view. So you can find the ultimate view in the Sufi tradition of Islam, in the Gnostic tradition in Christianity, in the Dzogchen and Mahamudra traditions in Tibetan Buddhism, in Kashmir Shavanism, and Advaita Vedanta in the Hindu tradition. So, and there's more. Every religion has this view somewhere in their branches. So why is no view the one and only? So that's what I would like to discuss with you. So most people live in the first view, the relative view. And it's a pretty normal way to think and to view our reality. If that would fall away, and we would, for say, replace that with the view on emptiness, then first of all, the view on emptiness would not be correct, because the view of emptiness needs to encompass the relative view, otherwise it's delusional. But let's say someone thinks, oh, okay, nothing exists, I don't exist, there is no me, there is no other, it doesn't matter what I do, then I can do whatever I want, and if I harm someone, or if I destroy something, then who cares? This isn't real anyway. There is no one getting hurt, and there's no one doing the hurting, it's just, So that's a pretty obvious way to see how a view can go wrong. And instead of being a healthy way to look at the world and to awaken and go deeper inside your experience, it becomes a cause to become crazy or behave in crazy ways. So another would be to go into the tantric view and view everyone as divine and holy and godly beings, and feel that everything is energy, and we're all one with each other. And that's a pretty good view, but again, we need to be respectful of people's boundaries. We need to stay sane and safe, where we need to recognize that there is a conventional reality. There are rules and laws and regulations we need to follow for our society to work, for us to be able to live together. So I think we've all met people who hold this view, we are all one, as the highest. They're usually out partying in the forest and hugging each other. So if you haven't experienced that, I would recommend it to you. So let me give you a final example, then we can discuss more after the meditation. So if you only hold the view of awareness, of consciousness being the source of all phenomena, to only hold that view, then we turn a blind eye to the relative view, and our conduct can become inappropriate. We might also forget about the tantric view, which deals with energies and how they can affect each other and how we can affect others. So if we turn a blind eye to those aspects of our reality and focus just on everything is consciousness, then again, our perception would not be beneficial or helpful for us or for others to live a healthy, happy, constructive life, where we have a functioning society, where we have the necessities and pleasures we have today. So that is why I would like to say that it is my opinion that all of these four views are necessary for us to be able to be completely sane. So as I said in the poem, a Buddha adapts, an awakened being, a being who's realized their true self. So all these words we can say, and none of them are right. So that Buddha will always adjust what he says to who he's saying it to, out of compassion. So even if consciousness is the ultimate reality, that might not be what that person needs to hear. That might actually cause more afflictions in that person, more confusion. So then it would be better to maybe go to the tantric view, or go to the relative view, or the view on emptiness, to give tools, to give examples, to give practices, because that is what will be most beneficial to that person. And I think we've all had moments of intuition where we spontaneously shared with others, and those advices were just what that person needed. And that was very helpful for that person. So there's has been a critique from many famous practitioners of people who hold strongly on to the ultimate view as the only correct one, to at times be a bit insensitive and a bit cold, saying, your suffering, your sadness, your grief over having lost your child, of having been violated, that's an illusion. And once you know your true self as clear awareness, then you won't suffer anymore, because you will see that the energies are illusions and they're passing, and then the pain will be over. The suffering will be over. So to say that to another person, even if it were true, is like saying to that person, your feelings don't matter, your pain doesn't matter. So that can be very hurtful. And to say, oh, there's no one being hurt because they don't exist, then that's not a healthy way to live in this world and with other people, with other beings, who, even though they may not exist, they may be just illusions, they still have feelings, thoughts, emotions, and suffering. So we need to be respectful of others, and we need to adapt to them. We need to adjust what we say so it's most beneficial for them. And how do we do that? We listen. We listen not with our mind and ears in order to give a response and advice to fix that other person. We listen with our heart. We just let other person be as they are. We let them express. And we're just lovingly aware. And what comes up naturally, spontaneously, that is usually the most helpful. Yeah, that was it. That was the 4 views, and how I feel that they are one and the same and necessary. So this is a very interesting subject where we can have many opinions and thoughts, and I would love to hear all of it. So if we run out of time, then please feel free to write me after the meditation, to leave a comment below the video, and so we can discuss further. Okay? So thank you very much for joining me in this meditation, and I wish all of you a great